Let's get this shared and then we will get going. Just shared and then we will get going. All right, boom. All right, so then let's go to share streams. And then let's share it on X, and then we're getting started. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Because this is such a big deal, I'm going to post this as a video as well. Depending on how it goes, I may cut it down a bit or I may leave it as is. So, yesterday marked the very first day since I started playing this version of the alpha. I believe there's been a couple updates because I came during the big playtest week and I never left. And the reason why I never left is because the game's incredible. The content that I created on it showed that, right? The game had so much depth to it. There was so much I wanted to share with people, and so I did. And even though I'm not a big content creator by any means, I got a pretty good amount of eyeballs on a game that many players aren't even playing. So clearly the interest is there compared to where these other games are. And again, remember, my views, for me, this is good because when there's a game that no one wants to play or that no one likes, you can see it, right? Obviously, if it's Nick or Inception or someone like that, that's way bigger. I actually wish they would have shared more content on goals because I think these devs deserve a ton of credit. I think this game deserves a ton of credit. But I tried to do my part nonetheless. I didn't say, oh, I'm not big enough, who cares? And it paid off, especially with the shorts as well. Just every new set of eyeballs where people could see for themselves how good this game is. I felt like the game deserved that. Now, when UFL first came out, I had this same type of energy. I actually started my channel around that. It wasn't around FC, it wasn't around eFootball. I played those, right? I've been playing competitively in FC since 2022, right? And even before that, going back to probably like 16, 17, playing FC, but not realizing I was witnessing the downfall of football games, right? And then when UFL came, I felt that finally we could have something special because EA Sports just would not listen at all. Okay, Konami would not listen at all. Everybody wanted the game at the beginning in eFootball to go more towards its roots with PES, and they kept going more AI. In FC, everybody wanted the football to be the focus again, and EA Sports just wouldn't listen. Everything but football every year, and now you see where those games are. So I felt UFL could be the difference. That's without knowing, the background of strikers and what they're capable of or not capable of. And unfortunately, it was all just dreams. And one of the biggest turning points in the wrong way for UFL, where it went from a promising game with a ton of potential to just a game that was going in a terrible direction, was when a group of players at the start of the game, right, decided to turn it into a rat farm. That was a name that someone actually gave it, because you had players that saw that the game was in its early state. And if you go back and look at my earliest UFL content, you'll see something similar to Goals, where I was sharing how open it was, sharing ways that you could use every different setup, 5 backs, 3 backs, every narrow formation, wide formation, showing it's different from FC and how to use all these, right? And that's kind of how I even got from going from nothing, no channel at all, right? There was no UFL Pro to where people knew who I was. Started with 0, had the worst videos ever, but they still got pretty good views for UFL because I was just trying to help players. I just took my passion for football gaming, my knowledge from coaching, and turned it into football gaming content. That's how this whole thing started, right? All the other stuff with talking about the rap players, talking about the toxic players in the community, and kind of what football gaming's turned into, right? That all came on the side. It was all about sharing how I was playing, how I climbed to the top of the ranks in UFL, and helping other players. Recognizing the fact that there's a ton of players out there that just want to do better. They might not do anything but win a couple more games, right? They might not have the ability to climb the ranks, or maybe they do. Maybe they just want to get top 500, top 100, right? In UFL, maybe they just wanted to reach the Premier League. So that's the players that I was trying to help, and I did. And that was similar to what I was go for in Goals, eFootball, everything else. Is just helping players that want to improve at the game, right? And then everything else on the side is more just my passion for the game and sharing my take on it. So that was a backstory that was needed to talk about yesterday, where I had this live, and it actually was 2 separate lives. Started out with this one, Goals Rewards, where I was sharing my rewards, and then it ended up playing what was 3 games that didn't make the game look good. They just didn't feel good at all, right? And it was hard to tell, is it the certain player that I played? Because I go play against someone like Corb, right? Or Law, and I could play them 1,000 times in a row, and the game looks great. It's sharp, right? And win or lose, it's fun, and you could see the best of the game. But you play other players, like I did yesterday. I'm not even going to name names today because that's not important. I don't want that to take away the importance. But you have these certain players, whether they're high-ranked or not ranked at all, maybe just content creators, whatever, that don't do the same, right? And so going into yesterday night's stream, where it says this turned into 5 hours of broken gameplay, game or players question mark. Okay, and then why I made this video today, you'll hear where Goals is making a great decision. But the reason why I called the title of this video this and said gamer players is because it was hard to tell, right? The overall take on this latest version of the game has been pretty negative, but all throughout that I've been finding positives. And all you have to do is look at my content and you can see that. Now, some people, will joke around and say, oh, paid sponsorship, paid promotion. Dude, for one, I'm nowhere near big enough to get paid promotion. For 2, if you look at my takes on these other football games, I speak highly of them, and I show the negatives, speak scathing of them, right, and everything in between. And that's what I would do for Goals any other way. And that's what I sort of did yesterday. However, I truly feel, and you can go watch the gameplay yourselves, that from those lives, much of it is the players, and I'll explain what I mean by that. The game has been the same every step of the way. But again, players like Corb, man, he's the number 1 guy, dude. Believe it or like, if you know the background, there's a misunderstanding because of a player where I felt like a certain group were bullying somebody, right? And unfortunately, they were a pretty large group in the goals community, and so I went to war with them. No questions asked. I saw certain things, and it just shows how important context is. So after that, after I figured out what was going on from Ronald, thanks to him, another good player, great guy, Corb ends up being somebody that I had this false impression of to like the number one ambassador for this game. Four goals, I mean, not for me. Like 4 goals. He plays the game in a great way, always looking to help people, always answering questions, like always having good takes on the game. That's what the game needs. That's the bottom line. It's just the truth. But you don't have that. You have a lot of players that, for instance, will see somebody speaking positively of the game and say, what do you think, you're some type of ambassador for goals? And come in and see that you're live and purposely try to play the game in a terrible way to, I don't know, show you, look how bad the game is. Why are you speaking highly of? It just makes the game that they apparently like look bad. Nobody would truly care if someone's speaking positively of a game, right? Because that actually just puts eyeballs on it. The devs behind the scenes are seeing the feedback in Discord and stuff like that, and are taking the good, the bad, and everything in between. But that toxic, negative behavior, that's what takes the game to what UFL turned into. So in the comments section, someone just put, I hope this doesn't turn into UFL. People don't realize that this exact path has already been gone down. So when I see players like I did yesterday, and I react like I did to them, right? All through yesterday, it was the only day where players were just playing the game to abuse it, right? And that's different from playing a game to give proper feedback. That's a total different thing. So it just turned into a broken mess, game after game after game, right? Including myself. I put my depth on 100, started just trying to run into players over and over and over, kick a ball at an opponent, try to run through them like players were doing yesterday, going for the same run the inline, round the goalie, shoot, run the inline, round, because whether it was player switching that was messed up yesterday or it's been messed up, but certain players just found out what was broken, abusing the shield. Remember at the beginning, I didn't even dribble with that except for sparingly, and then I figured out through I Am French that that's what he was doing when the tackles weren't working. So then it turns out, okay, whether it's just the animation needs to show or they need to nerf it, you can see all these broken things. And then a guy like I Am French goes in there and does a great job because he's always providing feedback, even against his own gameplay, because the point is clearly that he wants the game to be at its best, right? So when I made a mistake on the type of player he was and what his intentions were, thinking he was one of these bullies, I'm not afraid to say it like I'm saying right now. Guys like Corb and I Am French are great for the game because they're actually playing the game and then showcasing it at its best. But then if there is something broken, they put it out there and say, no, this is broken, it needs to be fixed. But there's other players that don't do that. There's other players that look at it almost like, okay, the fun of playing goals is to be a troll, right? Is to basically be a rat. There's other players that are rats and don't even know it. They're just not very skilled players. I think one of the players I played yesterday, again, no names, is probably that, where they love football, they want to be part of the community, they don't really get what they're doing, and so they find success how they can, and it could be in the rattiest way and they don't even know it. They don't really have that detail, right? So at the end of the day, when you're playing goals right now, you're seeing too much of the latter. You're not seeing a smaller group of players in the alpha that really are responsible for showing everybody who's interested their only, bit of goals that they're going to get. Some players will come in and have come in and played the game. Other players are just looking at whatever's out there, whether it's streams or content or whatever. So when you have players that come in and purposely just want to shit on the game, or they think, this dude says the game's great, let's mess with them, let's queue in and make the game look terrible, all they're doing is showcasing a shitty version of the game, showcasing to other potential players in this alpha how to play in a shitty way. They're not doing anything good for goals or themselves if they like this game, because people never realize, I'm just one player, dude. Oh, who cares? No one's really going to watch this. No one's going to take it serious. Go look at UFL. You can see where the numbers literally turned, because you don't realize when there's not a ton out there on a game, and then you start going as like it's almost like a cancer, spreading the wrong message, that spreads big time. If you played UFL, you know about the crossfield L1 triangle switch to the lobbed header. First thing that started ruining the game. There's a certain content creator sharing this that wasn't very big, and he famously was talking about, who cares how I play? What's the big deal? Sharing videos on how to do it, like let players play. It ruined the entire game, man. It ruined the entire game. From that point on, the game has never been the same, right? And people don't realize their impact on it. So next thing you know, I find out, shout out to Gamers C8V, by the way. Shout out to Gamers C8V. There you go, buddy. So I find out that where UFL made the mistake of leaning into this, like they didn't care what players they got. They didn't care that everything they talked about, these certain, the certain way the game was going wasn't good for what they were promoting the game would be, and for the type of culture they had created up to that point. They just kept going with it. All they cared about is more and more players. And because of that, the numbers started going way down. The wait time started skyrocketing. No big content creators touched the game anymore because it was a broken mess. And look where it's at now. There's like a cult following of players. The game is in a terrible state. They've already allegedly, right, because I don't have proof, but allegedly, but it's 100%, allegedly shut down a bunch of servers. So their connections, they're having issues just as bad, if not worse, than FC and eFootball. And it will never go anywhere, right? So as I'm saying this stuff, Goals devs prove that they're capable, because in a video where I say, right, the best thing to do is to recognize where the game's going, what kind of players you have that can absolutely ruin what could be a good game. If everyone's like, let's say, a Corb in a Law, then guess what? You could leave this game out. You could put this game full release and it's still going to look great. Because these guys are players. They're not going to waste their time, right, to play a football game to not play football. That's what I always talk about, is it not? But other players, they are going to waste their time, right? So you can talk about the obvious, like the kickoff glitch, which I did to win a game. I was up 4-0. Player comes back and ties it on the... You'd have to go watch it. We won't go in particular, but what I called pressure tactics. And then it's like, the argument is, oh, well, this is broken. But then so is the shield dribbling. But then so is the crossing, right? But then so, right? So there's so many things. So if you are playing the game in a certain way, everything's broken. You can absolutely go out there and win a game and abuse everything. It does nothing for you. It does nothing for the game. It just spreads this terrible like culture of, oh, that's what we're doing. And that's why I feel like yesterday, game after game after game was like that, because it went down the same path UFL started going down. Oh, just let me play how I play. Who cares? What's the big deal? Oh, I'm just using a mechanic in the game. That was my whole point. With all due respect, I'll say it because, he's a content creator and he can handle it. Maybe people will go see his content and like it, right? I think he does a great job with the content he creates. But Tall Tom, it was something that he said. He would, for instance, pass a ball, sprint at you 100 miles an hour, go for the over-the-top balls. And when I brought up these things and watched the game back and showed them, right? Obviously, during a game when it's heated, you're going to add colorful language. But afterwards, when I told him respectfully, you're a rat, I wouldn't have added the colorful stuff, but here's why. And I showed him. And he's like, I respect your opinion, and it ended fine. Obviously, he doesn't agree with it. Maybe he didn't even realize it, but everyone knows the tackle back players. Everyone knows the bounce back players in FC that just kick the ball at you and run into you. And that's how they try to attack. Everyone knows the players who just go for mechanics that are broken, as opposed to playing football. So I showcased the game verse between me and Tom, every game last night, and then I showcased the games verse are between me and Corb and me and Law. No one in their right mind that knows football would watch the games that I play with Corb or Law on them and see that football and say, oh, that was the same as For instance, the game me and Tom, the game me and Coates yesterday, because the demeanor has turned from let's play football and showcase like how good this game can be to, okay, I'll show him he's using this is broken. I'm going to use this it's broken. He's using this. And it's all now showcasing everything that's wrong with goals. But it's in an alpha stage that does it no good. You can see something that's wrong, provide the feedback if that's your goal, and move on. Players aren't doing that. So now the goals devs are taking down the game until March, which is great because then we'll have a beta and we'll see all these improvements that they do behind closed doors, inviting certain players. They've gotten a ton more feedback than every other football game by leaving this game up for this long to have so much feedback. Then they will take the game down, they will work on it, and when it comes back, it will be vastly improved. Then they'll do the same for after beta. It will come back for full release, because as much as this was a genius idea, and maybe, depending on the tone of the game, they could have kept it out, but the players need to be saved from themselves. That's the bottom line. So let me pull this up. Let me see here. All right. So let me read you guys something here out loud. And this is why we are in great hands. Because if we were not, these guys' goals would have went down the same direction. The toxic players, whether they know they're being toxic or not, the troll players, from the top ranked players in the world all the way through, man, it doesn't matter who it is. It's just that's what spreads. They would think they're just trolling and playing the game in the wrong way. They would think they're just goofing around. They would get mad because certain players are being positive about a game, so they want to show them and try to, oh, you think the game's good? Well, what about this? What about this? What about this? You're doing nothing but making the actual game look bad. You're not affecting me or my take on the game. I know how good the game can be. I know the broken stuff in the game, but the whole point is it's an alpha stage. The devs will fix that stuff. It's all been reported. It does me no good to sit there and make content if I were to like follow along the take of these guys and just go, look how terrible this is. Look at how broken the shielding is. Look at how, right? And so I spent some time like explaining what these players do, because it makes the game look bad. So you got to at least say, okay, look, dude, this is broken. This is kind of the zigzag dribble that's going on. This is the shielding dribble. But there's no point in me playing the game and just doing that stuff over and over and over, because then it turns whole entire streams turned into game after game after game. And then all the eyeballs that see the game, that's that negative culture that spreads. So I'm glad that it ends on that, because it's a good lesson for goals to look at everything that's in that video and fix just 95% of it. But here's what we have. This is to the insiders, but it's very good information. Okay? It's not out there yet, but it just shows the competence of the goals devs and why we're in good hands. All right. We want to share a quick update on what's coming up for goals over the next few months. The game goes offline while preparing for beta. Excellent decision, saving the game from the players. Starting this week, the game will go offline for a couple of months while we focus on core improvements and get goals ready for beta and release. This is a planned step and an important part of setting the foundation for what's next. March marks the start of our open beta with new features and a more complete experience. That's huge. Our goal is a full 1.0 release ahead of the 2026 World Cup. So, summertime. That's huge, guys. Right? Everyone's going to be hyped for the World Cup. Boom, we get a new game. Now, you never know. Behind closed doors, 2K could be working on a game. FIFA could have a different... The Netflix thing is not a full game. Some people are mistakenly think that it's a mobile game. You never know, because that's what a lot of these games do. They don't let the game get tested by the player base. So goals going in this direction, they'll be better for it. UFL saw all the hype and said, man, we can build on this hype. Didn't care positive or negative, and just boom, put out the game after a terrible beta and just went with it and thought that was that hype would last, and it turned into a toxic nightmare. and their numbers just crash. Goals is doing it the right way because clearly they want to put out a good football game. They're not letting this toxicity and this negative, not feedback anymore, but this negative, like, let's troll players by playing like shit against this player, and then, oh, we'll play good football against this player, and then I don't like how positive you are about the game, so I'm going to show you how bad the game is, as if that hurts me, right? That type of thing spreads all around. And there's not many content creators out there, again, i.e. Dagger in UFL, which you can't even see everything he did got removed. Go figure. But it was the same exact concept. Oh, what's the big deal? I'm just playing how I want. Who cares if I'm showcasing these bad things? It matters, especially for a new game. It matters. Right? But again, it's the players, not the game. In UFL, the goals devs became part of the problem by not fixing these things. But the goals devs, with what you're seeing here, they clearly are going to go and fix everything, release the beta. They'll fix more things after, and then the full release. But they've gotten so much more feedback. Now they take the game offline. It's different than any other football game has done. It's the right move. So, while the game is offline, it's different than any other football game has done. It's the right move. So, while the game is offline, a limited group of insiders will still be able to play. We'll also open up invitations to more insiders so more of you can get hands on and help shape the game during this phase, which is huge. I guess you could say FC does that similar, but during the beta phase and with players coming in and playing kickoff or something, way different than Goals releasing essentially close to a full version, better than other football games in full release, by the way, for everyone to stress test. That's what many people forgot about this version when they were sharing all this nonsense and some of the feedback and stuff. It's like, bro, it's still a beta. They're still going to go back and fix so many things, right? We'll also open, okay, so I've seen that. As always, the Discord stays open. We're looking forward to continued healthy discussions about what really makes a football game great, which people can say what they want, man, right? But one of the big stories after that, the dude sends me the messages, terrible messages, of course, but it was taken out of context, saying that these players that happen to be these top players are bullies and this and that. It was bullshit. It was bullshit. However, the two guys that came in and said, dude, it is a bad atmosphere. That is correct, guys. Whether you want to admit it or not, there's this certain troll/negative mentality, and it doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't help the game. It turns into certain shit that's bad. Like, obviously, the bully thing's totally separate. That was bullshit. That was a dude that was racist and bullying others himself that got what was coming to him and then tried to play a victim to play me to try to badmouth certain people for no reason. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the whole troll mentality / attack mode mentality, right? Where it's not about feedback. It's not about conversations like you end up seeing from whether it's Brad, great for the game, Corb, amazing for the game. Even Marceau actually told me, he's like, I know I'm speaking negatively about the game sometimes, but you can read through that and see that he cares about the game. Right? You can read through, okay, if he's in heat of the competition streaming and says something about a player, big deal, dude. It's in the heat of competition. Get over it. But overall, you can see that he's saying it because he cares about the game. Other people, you can tell their goal is, hey, they might be good at the game, but they're going to turn it into a troll session. They're going to turn it into a way to try to rage bait people. And that's the type of bullshit that people can see through. The devs can see through everyone. They can admit it or not, but that's the case. There's certain players that play the game in that way too, which is what yesterday was a lot of. It wasn't football. So there's a reason why that got highlighted in that bottom part about what really makes a football. So in always Discord stays open. We're looking forward to continued healthy discussions about what really makes a football game great. Gameplay, feel, modes, progression, and everything in between. Your thoughts and perspectives are a big part of shaping goals now and going forward, which is why this alpha was so important, by the way. That's just the beginning of goal. That's just the beginning. Goals is built as a live service, and we plan to keep improving and expanding the game after launch with new modes such as 2v2. We were just talking about that. That will be huge. ongoing gameplay improvements, and fresh content over time. Thanks to everyone who's been playing, testing, and sharing feedback. You're helping shape the final version of goals, which is 100% true, right? And so is every single player that's playing this game, whether they know it or not. Every single game that goes up is that possible game that some random person clicks on and says, let's see what goals is about, and then boom, right? So that's where I tell you guys I share the good, bad, and everything in between. Someone left a comment like, you're sharing this about goals, but then you act like an ambassador. I'm not getting paid to be an ambassador. Then I would only speak positively, and then you guys couldn't listen to a word I say. If someone's doing a paid video for goals, which, or eFootball or whatever, that's the last video you want to go watch. I'm just speaking honestly, and this game truly is incredible. But what I showcased yesterday wasn't necessarily negative on goals. It was negative on the players, and it shows what happens when you get a concentrated group of troll/toxic/ratty players. Again, whether they know they are or not. We've seen how it destroyed UFL, and Goals is making the right decision, because when they come back for beta, this whole group disperses. Right? They can be this small group that's kind of creating this toxicity, can still be in Discord, but no one's going to care because no one's playing the game anymore. This game was so good that players wanted to play, but it was so concentrated that this kind of rage bait troll mentality got spread, and now the Goals devs can exterminate that, right? Now, if you want to say I'm part of that for calling these type of people out, go ahead, but my content speaks for itself, right? My content speaks for itself. Calling out individual players, I think it was a total, you could count on less than one hand after the whole bully situation, which I corrected because those players were set up, quite frankly. But after that, you can count on one hand the players I encountered that clearly just weren't, and some of them I let slide, by the way, too, but whether you like it or not, that's the case. And players know who I'm talking about. We all come across those players in eFootball, FC. We all come across those players whose goal isn't to play football, whose goal isn't to like, hey man, this is a great game. I want to, spread how good this game is or showcase the good football that you can play. Such as, like I keep saying Cord, but I played him 7 million times, and like he taught me so much, and then he's taught so many other players just through caring, like leaving comments and stuff. And then there's people who take it another direction. They're good, but they decide to just play the game like total rats and showcase it in a terrible way. They're not good for the game, right? So now when Goals comes back during beta, that whole thing will be dispersed. It will be more players that see a game coming on full release, right? There will be more promotion, and for the game's sake, there needs to be more new blood, if you will. Right, you can't release a game and have 108 players, and they know, Goals knows that, everybody, UFL, but unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, if you let it fly like UFL did, that spreads, that becomes the heart of your game, and that kind of terrible gameplay, terrible culture spreads, and it kills off your game. By Goals doing this, they come out with a fresh promotion for their full release after the beta, of course, which they'll do something for beta. And you're going to have a whole influx of new players. And from what I've seen from these devs, because it starts from the top down, right? It starts from the top down. From these devs, the culture, the mentality, it's just different. What they take their time to do as far as responding and being there to actually hear out the player base as opposed to all the bullshit from the other devs, right? It's insane. Right, they are connected. They absolutely care. It's clearly not just a job for them. You heard crickets for like years and years from EA Sports. From Strikers, everything they said was a lie. You don't have to look any further than Nanik, who is the content creator that got in deep with the CEO, including like the scripted podcast they did with the certain answers. I guarantee Nanik regrets that to this day, and then he talks about it as well, about how bad that company is and about all the terrible stuff going on. And you've seen how that spread, and that's why that game's where it's at. The Goals devs are the opposite. So we're in a good place as far as if you believe in this game or if you love this game but don't love the mentality that you've been seeing overall. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. No big deal. If you don't, it's even better, because when you come back to goals, you're going to see a fresh take on a great game from a great group of devs. That's all that matters. Worldwide, there's going to be so many players that you don't have to. You're just going to have a whole different experience. What you experienced in the alpha is just a microcosm of what could spread. I know for a fact that the goals devs are saving the game from the players right now. Whether they look at it that way or there's no way they're going to come out and say it, because even the rattiest players are good for an alpha, right? They showcase all the broken nonsense in this game. But even if it's an overall positive, it still needs to be pulled instead of like UFL goes, oh, look at this. It's not good publicity, but we got some traction. Let's keep this going. Goals is saying, okay, we got our feedback. Time to pull the plug. Let's think about this. If the scenario was, let me look at this real quick, make sure it's not pulled up. Okay, good. Okay, good. So if we look at the date here, okay, so a couple of months while we focus on the improvements. So up until this point, maybe it was playing, maybe not, but notice the timing. Like, you see what I'm saying? It could be just a full coincidence, but if you've been playing goals, you know what I'm talking about. Notice the demeanor overall. Notice the timing of all this. Okay? Goals devs are showing that they know what's going on, because if they let the game ride from here, it was only going to go in a worse direction because of the players. Not the game, but because of the players. You can play this game in a great way. I strongly suggest, I wish Corb had an actual channel. I wish Law had a channel. I've encouraged both those guys. Hopefully during full release they start sharing content, even if it's just their gameplay, because they're great players and they showcase the game right. That's the difference between them and, let's say, a Dagger. If you know, you know from UFL. If not, just consider Dagger that ratty player, that rage bait player that, oh, it's just funny when I play like that to piss people off. It's just funny. You have players from like top 7 in the world doing this in goals, all the way through to random 1600 ranked players that can't win but they troll. Those players are terrible for the game. They don't realize how bad they are at this early stage, but they're terrible. So the goals devs see kind of what's taking over, what's spreading, and they pull a game. Here's my bet. This is my own opinion. If you had players like Law, Corb, these guys that played that way, they would never pull the game. They would let us play all the way through, then release an updated beta and say, you guys are playing an outdated version, but just stay tuned. Let us play this. Then they would let us play the beta, then full release. They'll never say that, because then that's basically saying, they're not going to come out and say, well, because of this group of toxic bees, we don't want our game to go in that direction. But we can't decide like the stronger voice right now, so we're going to, they're never going to say that. This is my opinion, my own. I could be totally wrong. You could say I'm batshit crazy, but hear me out. If there is nothing but positive gameplay, you see my content, even if it was negative, it was more like, hey, they need to fix, like, look at my worst case scenario video today. If it was like that, showing the things that are broken in this version, but talking about how to deal with them and what the devs can do and will do to fix it, most likely. They'll fix it. I don't know how, but I left a example. If you had that type of energy being spread, I all but guarantee they wouldn't pull this game. But because this type of energy is being spread, and kind of that stronger voice is the rage bait troll, like at the game's expense, let's mess with this guy and this guy and this guy, they have to pull it because that's what eyeballs are going to see, right? That's what they're going to see when they go into Discord. So it's a great move. It's the opposite. UFL, this exact same thing happened, guys. This exact same thing, and UFL said, oh, it's good traction. So let's see what Not King X says. You got a PC master. Yeah, so March is from where I've seen it. What else did he say in here? I didn't see anything else on here, but yeah, so that's the biggest thing that I wanted to share. Now, how will it compare to these other football games when it comes out? Now, this is my next honest to God opinion. UFL, I'll talk about for those of you who aren't around. They release the beta, they do an early release, okay? Early release, so limited players still. Everyone's talking about the game, right? I should go to my earliest content there. And I'm loving the manual defense. I'm loving everything about the potential of the game, right? There's not many content creators. I'm sharing that. I just started my channel around this game for this reason. And then the other side of it was the Daggers of the world, who are long gone now, but they start showing the broken parts of the game. They start, trolling everybody they play and saying, "Oh, it's all in good fun," or "Oh, it's who cares? I'm a small creator. Just let me do what I want to do." And there's a few people that would support that. Then there's others that are going, "Bro, you're just terrible for this game," right? And from there, UFL sees, okay, we got a decent amount of traction. They liked what they saw, and they kept everything going. They didn't pull the game. They let it run, and that negativity and that rap mentality, that sort of just that type of culture, that's UFL now. That's what it is. When you go into that game, that's what it is. The broken mechanics over there, it's like, hey, that's how we play over here. Deal with it or leave. Goals clearly seen that that whole mentality isn't what they want to spread. They're going to go fix the bullshit, and they're going to come back. And when they come back, this game will be the best football game. Mark my words. Everything you see wrong in my worst case video, plus more, everything you see wrong in the game, I guarantee you they address. Now, whether they aren't perfect, whether they get it all right the first time, what they are doing right now in their whole the way they've went by releasing this alpha stage with as much depth, there's not even every attribute isn't even active in the game. They literally tell us that there's no attacking and defensive AI in the game right now. Like the IQ is turned off. It says it when you read the attributes part. Imagine when they're clearly working on these things behind closed doors. So just imagine when you get a full version of how good this game has been. If you wanted to actually play football. But what I don't know, and hopefully the devs would do, I can't see them not doing this, is they make it to where you don't need a judge, jury, and executioner on who's playing like a rat and who's not. That's when the game goes down a slippery slope, when you start getting in Discord. Sorry for playing this way, man. Hey, I apologize for doing that. That was probably ready. Oh, no, you're good. That was fine. You see what I'm saying? When the devs protect the players from themselves, where no matter what, when you're competing, you just get to play the game. You don't have to worry, oh, that's going to look ratty. Oh, that's going to be bad. You just play football. Then you have a great game. So let's hope that the devs actually look into that detail too, because that's a big part of when UFL took off in the wrong direction, and it's what you see in goals. Go to the in-game chat and just scroll down. Oh, I don't know if that was a legit goal. Hey, why did you play that ball? Why did you? It's got to be where you just go out and play. No matter what the game is, you know that you just play. It's not broken to where you guys say, I don't know about that third goal you scored. That was ratty. Oh, what about your second goal? You did this. This is broken. I thought we weren't going to do that. Or they got to get it to where the players can just play and the Discord doesn't become King so-and-so and all of his followers are the judge, jury, and executioner on if you're accepted by how you play or if you're going to get rage baited or trolled, or you know what I mean. It's just got to be play football and then talk about football, and that's it, right? Oh, hey, there's this glitch where my player disappeared on this corner or something like that. Of course, those kind, but not, dude, I can't believe how so and so played. He did this over here and it really made me mad. That's unbelievable. And then it becomes, oh, so and so's you know what I mean. They got to get rid of that type of stuff. Again, it's a big reason why I see them pulling this game right now. They'll never admit it, but that's a good sign because it shows they know. They know when that negative culture was spreading. They know when it stopped being showcasing the players in the game in the best way, providing feedback on the broken stuff, but showcasing it in the best way, and started being a bunch of negative, toxic type of players that are like, oh, look how bad this game is and doing this over here. Just because they could, or because they wanted to win, or whatever. Similar to what I showed yesterday. So that's my take on it. FC 26 and eFootball, they have a whole different problem. They've been around for years and years and years. So the difference is by the time like the whole online and Ultimate Team, which obviously FC 26 was like FC 26, EAFC started the whole thing way back before anybody. So they didn't have any competitors. They released kind of like Ultimate Team, the new mode, right? Whereas Goals is coming out at a time where they have to show what's unique about, like, clearly it's going to be similar to an Ultimate Team type of mode, right? But the breath of fresh air with the totally unique players, no two players are the same. Every player is not only unique to Goals, unique to your team. With the upgrading system, similar to real football, you don't know who's going to develop into superstars and who's not. So you have to try to read it well and sell the players who aren't. The players who are going to turn into superstars, you keep, right? You don't know. So that becomes a big part of it too. Like, this is a breath of fresh air for the Ultimate Team thing. It's got the player development. It's got unique players, so you don't like eFootball, there's going to be 72 Hullets released this year. Which one should I go spend $200 on just to get to say I get to keep him forever, only he's going to go out of under the power curve in about 6 months. I'll have to buy another Hullet. It's just stupidity, dude. It gets over and over. It doesn't make us hate our heroes and the legendary players that we love from real football. It just gets boring, especially when you're spending your hard-earned money over and over. And the way that Goals has done this, yeah, I'm sure they'll have microtransactions, whether it's they come up with a season pass or not, whether it's just for kits and things like that. Of course, they have to make their money, and they should. But the way they're doing it is unique. It's a brilliant thing to do when they're the fourth football game now, right? And clearly we're in good hands. The football itself at its core is brilliant. It's as true to football as you can get, more than any other football game, right? And so now all these toxic players that for whatever reason that jumped onto that mentality that I'm talking about, they're going to be gone, man. They are going to be gone. Or at the very least, when they come back, they're going to be watered down big time. They're going to be watered down big time. What's up, Dude, I never asked. Is it Marky or Murky? Is it Marky or Murky? I want to make sure I say it right. Marky, okay, good. All right, so Marky's in the chat. I know you don't care, but I'm going to say it. The number one player in the world, clearly a special player. I never got a chance to see him play, but he'll hopefully, obviously, when you look at the top players, I don't see why they wouldn't come back. Like the players that I always talk about. Showcase some Marceau one. You got Marky. Who's other ones? I put Corb, Ronald, and Law in there, me personally, because even though they're not at that special level, they showcase the game at the right way. Ronald, right, with the zigzag runs, you could say, oh, well, but dude, he's a great player even without that, right? So that's 5 right there. So if you start, in my humble opinions, take these top, let's say 20 to 40 players that actually, if they look back and actually play the game the right way and keep working from them, right? But then see all the broken stuff, you are going to have a great game. If you listen to their feedback, Goals obviously have a strong foundation of what they want, create the game they want, bring these types of players in going forward, like the behind the closed doors players that get an invite to play and share their feedback. We're going to have a great game. So how did I find out about what's going on? Well, first of all, am I right? So I actually feel good that I got that insider information, because I think Marky just confirmed it. Am I right about what I said, Marky? It's closing down, right? But that's good that it is closing down. That's good that it is closing down. So I'll take Marky's, what he just said, as a confirmation. And I could be wrong, though, bro. I could be wrong. Maybe you're just asking. So Marky doesn't know. So I hope I'm not giving the wrong information, but I'll tell you I'm not. It 100% is closing down. It 100% is. But why do you think that's bad for it? I told you why I think it's good for it. I want to hear why you think it's bad. I think it's good because I think that the overall mentality has gone from the focus being let's help provide good feedback on this game and go in the right direction to actually, I believe you said this, Marky. I believe you said this. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't want to misquote you, but you said like for an alpha you need a concentrated group of players because when you get it past that concentrated point, the focus is not really on playing good football and making the game better. The focus becomes, oh, this is going to be funny. Let's troll this guy and play broken like this to try to rage bait him. Let's go have fun in the Discord and try to mess with people. Like when you have a focus of players with the goal to make the game the best it can be, that's better than opening wider to where the focus can shift. And I believe, in my humble opinion, that's why it's good that it's closing down. And I'll go a step further, and this is my opinion, but I believe that the Goals devs were closely watching the temperature of where the focus was going. And the negative players in this, like the players, again, when you were talking about why it was bad to have more players in the alpha, I believe that is why they're closing it down. I believe they would have left it open all the way to beta and through if the rage baiters, that kind of mentality of using the game more as like a troll center instead of the focus being on let's make goals the best game. That's why I believe they're doing this. So Marky said, from the outside it will look like the game died. They made a promo in December spending marketing money getting new players and now they close the game. So that's I don't think a closed circle giving feedback is good. More opinions is on. What were you saying? What were you saying about the? Remember when we were talking about on the phone call, and you were saying for an alpha, it shouldn't be as many players. Remember you were saying that? I could actually pull up that live, if you remember what you said, but I could pull it up. Let me see if I can get it. But you made a good point there. I forgot exactly what you said, but you're talking about, it's alpha, you don't want a ton of players. You want it to be like 100, 200 players. So Marceau says it kills a lot of momentum from the game. So this is me guessing. Yeah. So that's what I believe happened, in my opinion. This is me not knowing. The other part I can tell you guys is 100% happening. But there's no way that I feel like if I found this out, you guys have to have known. Maybe I could be wrong, though, but I'll bet every dollar on it that that's what's happening. Unless there's some powerful mofos that can get them to take back what they're doing. Now, if I would, I can't go any further than that. But here's what I can say, though, is, in my humble opinion, this was not planned. In my humble opinion, this is them reacting to the energy of what they're seeing and kind of how the direction that like these discords and stuff are going, in my opinion, because there's no way that I see that the direction they wouldn't have just released that. They wouldn't have had the comeback content and all that. This is literally from the negativity. Instead of focusing on like a feedback part, which you can be negative in the heat of competition. I use Marceau as the example because when that dude tried to crucify him for playing a player, the player was like, hey man, I love matching you, but you said this and this and this. It's like, bro, when you're competing against someone, shit's going to be said. And sometimes things are going to come off negative, but you can tell when people really care and they're saying it for the sake of the game and wanting to see the game better, and it's just harsh criticism. It's no different than a manager getting mad on the pitch and going, you fucking idiot, get wide. Obviously not coaching kids, but you're coaching, whatever higher level. Damn it, what are you doing there? That was stupid. Or whatever, right? It's going to happen, but you can tell when they have good feedback and good knowledge, as opposed to like let's rage bait them. Let's do this over and over and over. Let's make the game look stupid and when they start seeing that being the demeanor, that's my opinion. There's a difference from competing and then like you could say, oh well, that was negative, but it was in the heat of competition and it's still good feedback, as opposed to taking the game's shortcomings being an alpha and spreading it into like, okay, let's troll using the game, making the game looks bad, or let's turn like Discord into a place where we just fuck with people, type of thing. And there's some people that do that, a small concentration. In my opinion, this is my opinion, where the focus isn't truly on like, okay, you can tie back to where it's like this is clearly true or this is argument for the game, and then where it's like a rage baiting situation. Corb's in here. Welcome, Corb. He was in here earlier. I don't know if he left and came back, but he said, I agree with your thoughts, OG. Let me see what these guys are saying. All right, so I want to read this one by one because these guys are important players in the game. So then, I'm not saying other people aren't important players, but when you have the game like, saying Anders Vergang, dude, you want him to be involved because the dude can play the game to no other. So then he's going to find certain shit that other players just aren't capable of. So you need these different levels of players because it shows every part of your game. You can literally stress test it in the best way, right? So that's where I said, I'm not saying like just have Marquis and Marceau go play each other over and over. You need all different levels of players, but you also need to get away the players that aren't here for the right reasons, in my opinion. So from the outside, Marquis, I already read that, but he said it will look like the game died. Then he said, I don't think it closer. Okay. So we talked about for the alpha just having not like full releasing, which again, UFL did that. When they should have went backwards, they went forwards because they thought any publicity is good publicity. So that's what I use because they had shit that they needed to work on. They just needed to work on it. And it felt like once they gained traction, they didn't give a shit. I'll give you an example. They had a broken header meta where their dumbasses decided, okay, the rule of thumb from now on is the defender wins the ball automatically unless the attacker's taller. I shit you not, guys. This was truly... So, like, Cristiano Ronaldo, great header of the ball, right? He was toast. He was done. No longer was he good because if you're a taller defender, you automatically win. That was in the pitch notes and everything. So guess what people go and do? Unless there's an attacker that's taller, then that attacker wins the ball. They go and get Luka, the Italian striker that's like 7 million foot tall. They put him up top, and what does he do? Well, like the game says, he wins the ball because he's the tallest freaking striker / tallest player in the game. And everyone goes out and gets him. Well, guess what Strikers does? Just like with everything else, they lean into it, and they put out a special Luka card. This son of a gun isn't even starting, isn't playing anywhere. There's no reason he would be getting a promo card. And he gets a promo card because they wanted people's money, because it's a cash grab. So they leaned into the bullshit. So these devs can either lean into the bullshit or the bullshit. So these devs can either lean into the bullshit or say, nope, we don't like the direction this is going. We don't like the tone of what we're seeing. Boom. Let's take it out. Let's pull it back. Let's get rid of the bullshit that we think that these players are abusing, that are making this game look like something we don't want it to look like. Let's try to reshape this thing. And I think, in my opinion, that's what they're doing. So then Marky said, yeah, even if they believe that, it's strange they made all the promo and now suddenly... That's what I think happened. So this is where Marky actually... This is why I think what I think. He says, yeah, even if they believe what I'm saying, it's strange they made all the promo and now suddenly may realize it's better to have less players. Anyways, their decision we'll see in the end if it paid off. Marky, I believe if there's more players like the players I'm talking about, Corb, I'll put yourself in there. You have a more negative take, like you calling Stallion a clown and this and that, but you got to be able to take that. I'm all for that because you spoke your mind. You spoke your mind. I'm all for Marceau. I don't give a fuck. You could say how negative he is or he called this player. When you're playing, bro, if you can't judge the difference between a comment in the heat of competition and a true negative person, then you are just a meow. That's the bottom line. No offense to the content creator yesterday, but you called me this, you called me that when we played, bro. Respectfully, I think you play like a rat, but in the game you're a piece of crap rat. Sorry, bro. When I played against defenders in real life, I didn't go, "Hey, buddy, I just think that you're a dirty player." No, I would elbow him in his nose, and you see what I'm saying. He would step on my Achilles. Like, you guys know how football gets. Let's not act like we're all angels and we need to. Now, I get that it can go over the line, but I don't think that that's where this went wrong. I think it's literally the players that turn goals into a trolling. Oh, this is where I go to troll people. This is where I go to rage bait people. Let's go in the disc. Let's see if we can piss off today. He wants to say all these positive things about the game. What are you going to say about this? You going to say that's good? You going to say that's good? Like, that's my opinion, and what Marky's saying defends it, because they wouldn't have done all this promo if they didn't plan on keeping the game out. So all the players who are toxic, negative, who weren't providing anything positive, who turned this into a game to troll people and you're the reason this game's getting pulled 1,000%. And I think that's because these Golds devs did not do all this shit just to pull the game. That's me just coming out and saying it. If you add players like I've always said a million times, and hey, they need to fix this. This is broken, but let me show you what happens. When this player dribbles like this, right? You get what I'm saying? There's ways to do it, or there's ways to say, Corb, I do not agree with you at all, man. I think that what they should do is this. And Corb's like, dude, are you crazy? They need to do this. But instead it turned into, Corb thinks that this is okay, Corb, which is why you play like this in game. Look, this is all you can do the whole game. Of course you would like this. You're terrible. And like, you see what I mean? Like, there's this difference. How would it change your opinion if they play in the promo knowing they will shut the game down? Because how would it change your opinion if they planned the promo knowing they... Because I don't believe they would have done... I don't believe the direction they were going and how they were speaking and stuff like that. I don't believe they would have done all that if they just planned. And I believe they would have talked about a shutdown date, like plenty of people have asked. And I don't believe that out of, like, boom, they would have just said, all right, you have a week left, game's gone. I believe it would have just been, hey, you have until this date. And then they kept expanding it because they said, oh, playtest is a week. They didn't say the game was shutting down after that, but then they expanded the quote-unquote playtest. And then they let players play, and I believe that traction that the game got is the reason why. And they're like, damn, this is good. And people were loving it, dude, and that's huge for an alpha. Not even all the attributes work in the game. Not even all there's literally, you play ranked, you get your rewards maxed out, and then you go play tournaments, bro. That's literally less than even eFootball, which has nothing to do, and people still love this game, which says something. Oh, he's saying if that was true, what would my take be on, okay, how to change your opinion if they plan the promo? Okay, so if they planned on shutting this game down no matter what, and like that wasn't different, like if the whole time they were just going to shut this game down, whether people were being negative or positive, well, then it came at a perfect time, bro. It came at a perfect time because I can just sense, like, in my opinion, I can feel where the game's turning from, like, players that are like, oh, man, I love this part, but this part's broken. And instead it's going to, like, fuck this guy. Like, I'm going to make him look like shit, or I'm playing like kind of like what you said about, okay, high SR games, if I'm playing a friend, similar to like how if I played Corb or Law, it's going to be good football for our levels. And I take that as what you were saying. If I'm playing a friend, it's going to be close games because we're going to give the ball back. We're going to do this. If I'm playing just some random player, somebody that I don't like, it's going to be 10-0. It's going to be a ton of broken shit, right? I believe that the game overall went more towards that latter part of what you were saying. That's why I believe so I think it came at a perfect time, in my opinion. It's because when like this whole, when I came into this, what was it, during that I'll tell you how I came into it. I was playing eFootball. This is all on stream. I was playing one of the games, and I'm like, bro, we're in a terrible spot. I was like, we got to wait for GTA, guys. I was like, the best football game in the world is going to be GTA 6 pretty soon. And this dude that always was like, goals, goals, goals. I'm like, I'm waiting. It's like, dude, just give it a try now. Right? And I know Marky was like, man, not much change. And then I showed that video from early on, and it felt, even if it was just the pace, there was something there that triggered me to like, okay. Because before I turned it on, went into the training center and go, okay, not ready. This time I turn it on, who knows? Maybe it's just because before I turn it on, went into the training center and go, okay, not ready. This time I turn it on, who knows? Maybe it's just that the training ground looked different, but whatever it was led me to actually play the game, and I was hooked from second one because it gave me that classic feel. And so right off the bat, I didn't go in and say, oh, look what's broken in this shit. Look at this stupid play. Look at, what is this? I went in with the mentality like, dude, there's something here, guys. There's something here. This could be good. And that's the mentality that a lot of players had that I noticed. And that changed. It went from, dude, we have something. They need to fix this for sure. This is bad. But, dude, look, what if they go this direction? This could be amazing. It went from that to, oh, fuck this, watch this. And then just, I'm going to use this broken mechanic the entire time. Screw you. You know what I mean? Oh, you did the shielding dribble on me? All right. I'll give you an example for myself. I'll use myself as a culprit. I'm up 4-0 on Coates. Very good player. I got him in 2 close games before. We did nothing broken the other 2. I beat him 2-1 each time. It was like we were playing to the best of our abilities. We didn't do over the top, so we didn't do anything. No crosses. So this time we play, I'm up 4-0 at half. There's no bullshit this time. We're both playing in 3-5-2s. And then 2 of the goals were from his mistakes, like on interceptions and stuff. Second half, the mother effort comes out. I can't even move. I can't complete a pass. He's running it at me 1,000 miles an hour. Just boom, runs through on goal. Boom, runs through on goal. Right? It reminded me of the pressure tactics days in FC. Now, whether it was or not, my mentality went from like playing football to this dude just went all out, abandoned all football, and just said, you're beating me 4-0. Screw you. You know what I mean? That was my take. I could totally be wrong, but that's where that mentality shifts. So he ties it up. Golden goal. I kick it off. Boom. I kick off, glitch him. And this is a buddy of mine, dude. This is like a person I respect. It would be like me doing that to Corb or Law or someone who I truly respect. Right? And clearly I respect Marceau because I'm sharing all of his streams on my channels. I'm trying to promote because he's a great fucking player and he shows the game in a positive light. Never cared what he thought about me or anything like that. After the whole bully shit was proved to be false, I could care less. I'm not trying to be friends with him. I don't care. I'm still promoting because he promotes the game. Do I get paid to do that? No, but I believe in this game, and the more players that see the game in a positive light, the better, because that means more players that we get to play against a wider audience, right? So it's never a personal thing, or it's not like me getting paid by goals. It's literally, I've seen how games can crash if the wrong players are promoted or if the wrong mentality spread, and I've seen how games can rise because there's not a ton of content. People underestimate how strong their gameplay is that they share and their opinions are, and the people underestimate it, dude. So I know I just like beat around the bush with it, but that mentality change is why this is good time. So if it was planned by goals, then they couldn't have came up with better timing, perfect timing to pull the game. If it wasn't planned, which in my humble opinion, at least the exact, like, all right, after this week, boom, we're going to pull it till beta. If it wasn't planned, which I don't think it was, I believe that they saw the tone. If it wasn't planned, which I don't think it was, I believe that they saw the tone that was being spread and decided to pull the game, rightfully so. And I think all you toxic players, you know who you are. The players who went into this game, ooh, who am I going to troll today? I hope I match up with OG so I could, oh, he's going to be pissed when I just cross the ball the whole time. Oh, I got my alt account so I could play like a complete rat. And looked at it like a selfish way to, like, similar to those players that you are beating 1-0 in FC and they play their hardest just to tie it and leave. They still take the L. They're still a loser. But they just wasted all their time just to take a win. You don't get a loss. You replay the game. But the losers that would spend time doing that, There's losers out there that come in and go, oh, I can't wait to go into Discord today to piss somebody off. Oh, I can't wait to go into Discord and argue with someone. Oh, I can't wait to go into goals. Let's see who's on live right now. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, watch this. This is my alt account. I'm just gonna spam through ball. Let's see what he says. Discord. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's check this out. Okay, so let's check this out. All right, so this was playing, which is good, but it couldn't have came at perfect timing. So I want to say this. So apparently, what I was reading, it was playing. So that's good though. Either way, it needs to be pulled. Like I said, my opinion was my opinion, but it doesn't change what I feel about the tone of all of this, right? Because then what you're gonna see start to change is, shit. You can even see it in my content, dude. Like, just saying how I felt. Like, I'm live going through all this stuff live, right? So after these videos right here, this worst case, then tomorrow's is I literally am showing UFL and eFootball their current state, what players are saying, and then showcasing goals. Well, then it becomes like, look at this player, how they're playing. You're telling me that's not a rat way to play, and look at this player. Look, that's not good for the game, man. That's not good. Even when Dagger was clearly doing what he was doing in UFL, and then you showcase what he's doing wrong, like the crazy videos he was making. Guys, win every game in UFL by doing this. It cannot be stopped. Do this play every time you win. Sharing a video on a brand new game like that. Then I make a video on that showcasing how it's bad. Well, guess what? More people see that. I bet you I probably taught more potential ratty players how to become rats than Dagger maybe. So it spreads, man. And then responding to it just spreads more negativity. Even me talking on it now isn't necessarily good. So once that goes away and the focus becomes, all right, let's see how good the football is, then we're going to be in a good place, right? So let's just go with that. It was planned the whole time, no matter what the game was going to leave now, so the goals devs could work on the beta. That's perfect timing. Perfect timing. The best coincidence in the world, in my opinion. Right, that was the first stream yesterday where the toxicity, rattiness, all that shit just took its toll. Where it's like, fuck, dude. Now we go away, we come back after playing some shit football games for a little while, and boom, we got a way better game. And it's not even done after that, because then they pull it back out. They make a few more corrections, especially with great players playing and leading the way, giving great feedback. Right? And then boom, we have full release. By then, the game's going to be a failure if at full release this is the contingent of players. Everyone knows that, correct? So now at full release, you don't just have that group of 100 people to 600, whatever the top was, with a small concentration of that's spreading this troll / rat / toxic mentality. You have a ton of players excited to play a football game, right? It's going to take a lot more players once this game goes away now, coming back, to just totally shit on the vibes that are going to be coming in, to totally troll and ruin a game and get enough eyeballs where it matters, to spread broken mechanics at the rate that they would need to be spread to, like, by the time they're spread, the devs will most likely have addressed and made hot fixes. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between that shitty type of mentality, that troll behavior, toxic. There's a difference between doing that shit with 100, 200, 600, 1,000 players and doing it with 100,000 players. So, perfect timing. Goals is going away for Alf, like, to finish off. Not everyone agrees, Marky and Marceau are like, it's going to kill off the momentum. I totally get where they're coming from. If there wasn't that certain group of players, whether they mean to or not, playing the way they do in that certain troll, I would agree with those guys. But that's just not the case right now. I think this is great because there needs to be like a reset, in my humble opinion. Right? So now we got to figure out the fuck. Do we go learn how to play Fortnite for a couple weeks? Hell no. Like, this is a football channel. But which is the next best game? Which game competes with goals? That's to be determined. I'll probably talk to some people and see what they're going to be doing and stuff like that. But that's my opinion, right? That's my opinion on goals. By the time now, because you can match with, now I'll give you guys another example. If you go back and look at my streams, I wanted to say this before I left. Come back weekend, holidays are over, back to the grind. I'm surprised it didn't say right here, like, you know, January 9th through 13th, you only get to use your player for 6 days. You see what I'm saying? So they have this promo. Log in every day, January 9th, for a free uncommon pack to boost your squads. But you're only going to get to use them until, let's see if there's an actual date on there. So I wondered too, though, Corb, if maybe that was the same as them having the playtest week expand. Because if you asked the devs at a certain time, they would have said playtest week ends on this date. Well, then it actually ended up going another week, if I remember correctly. I don't know. That's just still my opinion that if the mentality was more like play the game at its best, report the bad shit. That was the overall tone of Discord and the overall gameplay and content and everything. I believe that they would have kept it out. That's my opinion. Because what could be bad if you did that? How could it be a bad thing if people are playing your game at its best? For the most part, you could have a few of those players that get their ass kicked overall or just aren't. They're the minority. But in my humble opinion, the majority right now, the tone of the energy of the game, if you will, if you believe in that, right? The culture of the game that's being spread is an overall negative, and there's no way that I see the devs wanting that. This is from past experience in UFL. But reading this right here, I just feel like they would have put it in there, dude. Like, use your new legendary player for 7 days, or only available for 2 weeks. So play while you can, in my opinion. So, but we'll assume that they planned it. Great timing. Couldn't ask for better timing. And what I want to see if there is an actual date to tell people. I don't believe there is. Let me see. Starting this week, the game will go offline. So starting this week. So we have no idea the actual date, but starting this week. So that could be, what is today? I forgot which day it is, bruh. Tuesday. Could be Wednesday, could be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometime this week. It's going to go off. Certain players will be able to play. Obviously, it won't be the same. Hopefully, they've learned enough. I mean, they have way more feedback than any other football game has. And with their abilities, I have no doubt they're going to create a great game. So now we move on. Which shit show game are we playing next? I'm interested. I wonder what Margie, Marceau, and Corbin, all these guys are going to do. I have a pretty good contingency of eFootball players that I'd like to pull over to goals that I could keep recruiting. But I would never go in and just try to shit on a game, because that's what I'm saying was bad for goals. I'm just saying, like, I truly believe goals will be the best game. SC26 I had some fun with. I'm way behind the power curve. Another game that maybe the patch was good, but they still overall just have a broken game. We could see and test the connection and all that, and you could see the difference between that and goals. So we have until the open beta is coming. Let me read these dates. Let's see what we have. Read this out loud one more time. So here's the exact wording Let me go click through over here. I want to share a quick update on what's coming for goals over the next few months. Okay, game goes offline while preparing for the beta. Starting this week, game goes offline for a couple months. Okay, while we focus on core improvements and get goals ready for beta. That's great. This is plan step, so they made sure they put it. This is a plan step, an important part of setting the foundation. We have no reason to believe. I think, okay, so on one side, I think they would say that to make to take the heat off of, like, oh, this you type of players are the reason this game's going. But at the same time, it also could just have been playing the whole time. That's what it was, actually. We're going with that. So it was playing the whole time. So then what's next? March marks the start of our open beta in March. So it's January now. So around roughly 60 days. With new features and a more complete experience. Can't wait. I know that's going to be so much better. Obviously, that's the goal, is to make the beta better from your alpha experience and then put the final touches on, and then boom. Right? At the start of the World Cup, we also have a brand new football game. We have goals, and if for anybody who's played it, I'm excited right now for that. I know you guys got to be too. I just have full faith that these guys are going to kick ass with this. Our goal is a full 1.0 release ahead of 2026 World Cup. And then you can still provide your feedback and stuff. So we have March open beta, then it would be what? April, May, let's just say June, July. Let's say 4 months, 3 to 4 months, whether it's June, July, might even be May. We get the full version of the game. So that's my humble opinion on it. Crispy, what's up, bro? We'll see what happens, though, from there. I think there's going to be a new influx of content creators. I think that we'll see, because like UFL, the big guys jumped in for a very small amount of time. I was disappointed that like Inception and Nick didn't play more. I thought they would definitely. I thought Inception in particular, Inception would love goals. I figured he was going to play a lot more. However, they also, if this was planned for them to pull the game, they would have told Nick and Inception this. Which means, from the content creator's point of view, from somebody as big as them, I could see why they wouldn't play it more if they knew it was getting pulled. So if this was planned, that makes total sense. Right? I honestly, if I didn't read that, I would have bet a lot. I wouldn't have bet my life on it. I would have bet a lot that this was due to the overall energy from that toxic group. There's always a toxic group in any game. But the amount of power or ability they have differs depending on like what kind of culture is being spread, as well as the direction of the game. If a player comes in to troll and just use shit that's going to piss people off and there's nothing to use, then you have a great football game. If you have a football game where no matter how you play and how you score, you just have to go into Discord or wherever if you want to do this. You don't have to ever, and say GG's. The score was 2-1, and you know, however those goals came, they were legit because there's no broken shit. There's no, I wonder what mechanic he abused. I wonder if he abused mechanics. I wonder, you just play the game, the score is the score. You see what I'm saying? That is going to be a beautiful thing. If goals can do that, where there's never a need to have, oh, well, you scored this way, so I scored that way. Both are broken, but I think the way you played was worse. And like, if you get away from that, we're going to have a great game. I believe that the goals devs can do that, in my humble opinion. And let's all hope for the sake of the game that is the case, where no matter what, you just go out and play. No one would even have to watch the game. They could just see the stats maybe, or the score. And that's that. That will be a beautiful thing. Not saying every goal is going to be highlight reel. There's going to be those shittier goals where a defender held onto the ball too long and they get it taken away, right? Hopefully the cooldown period takes away some of that if they put one in, which I hope they do. But like, there's going to be bad plays. There's going to be shittier goals, rebounds, even though I do agree. Coates had said this and I agree. I hope, like in FC, the goalkeeper parries the ball behind. Is it realistic? No. But they try to claim that their bounce backs are realistic. Player plays a bad pass, it bounces off the defender, goes to the attacker. The way goals did it, it might not be realistic that the ball sticks to the defender's foot. but it's still better for football games. So if Goals takes that same approach, same with the anti-time wasting and all that, to the rest of the game, I don't see how they don't come out with an incredible game. Valley, what's up, bro? Happy New Year. That's my opinion, though. We'll see. Hey, Valley, can you hear this music? Can you guys hear this? I need to make sure that my settings are correct. But in the meantime, we'll get ready for our no goals jonesing, because I am going to miss it, dude. It's such a good game, bro. Out of all those days of content, one bad day, I will take it. In fact, dude, I'm going to do this one. All right, hold on. I got an email. Let me read this. That is, where was that at? Alright. Alright, do we dive back into FC? Look how far behind my team is, though, man. How the hell am I going to take this team? What up, Narf? Dude, I read all your messages afterwards. I think you got off. I was actually just talking about it. You have every right to be pissed, by the way, bro. But that's why this game going down like this. Going under. God, see, that was a total wrong thing. Going down so they can work on the beta, right? It couldn't have came at a better time. To the point where I literally, when I got on this, thought that they were pulling the game because of like the state of where players have taken it. But even if it was planned, it's the perfect time. Yeah, bro, so I thought for sure, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with the pressure tactics, right? Because that was the only game I've ever seen that happen. Now, you're a skilled enough player to do it, but I actually talked about this earlier. I don't mind repeating it. It happens. So, look, if I go in, I'm going right into it. I'm going to play Champs. So, I don't know if you were in earlier, but the game's going under this week for... God dang it, I got to watch my words. The game is going down for maintenance, like to work on the beta. Going down until March. After this week. My take was, bro, after releasing this Legendary, the comeback week and all that, I think they planned on leaving the game out, and then when it took a turn where everyone's abusing everything, it's become a center for trolls, troll players, they decided to take it. Assuming that's not true and it was planned, me and your game is a perfect reason why the game needs to go this direction. And I'm going to show you why. So this is what it felt like you did, and this is probably because of all the other players from that earlier game against Tall Tom, or the game against every other true rat that creates an alt account just to troll people or destroy the game. You see what I'm saying? There's players like that in every game, but when you have a smaller concentration for an alpha, that negative bullshit, that toxic bullshit spreads a lot further. So if we go in and play Rivals, and let's say I'm getting my ass kicked 4-5-0, right? And in Goals, it would be putting 100% pressure. In FC, it would be going in here and going like this. Notice what this says. Setting outside uses a bit more stamina. It doesn't say nothing about pressure, right? Adopting a high line focuses on setting offside traps. That's all it says. But if I go and play this extreme, my opponent is not going to be able to breathe, right? Like a good player will play fast enough, they'll play right around this. My players will be out of position and they'll be able. But if I just do this, boom, boom, it will become almost like impossible if my opponent's not moving quick enough or if they're not able to, especially in FC because of the connection. You don't have that in goals, but that's what it felt like, bro. I couldn't even move. So once that happened, I was just in that state of mind where it's like, oh yeah, oh, are you going to get mad at me for just playing the game? And then boom, I hit you with it. So if you watch my live reaction, I just kind of like snapped in the moment. You can see it for yourself, bro. But and then I kept playing and playing to try to get back into that positive mentality. And it's just like, once you go into that area where it's no longer about playing football, and now it's like, oh, you did this, so now I'm gonna do this. Oh, you did this, now I'm gonna, and you're sitting there breaking down. Oh, look what you did. That was, you know what I mean? It's time to take a step back and go, okay, what's going on here? And I think that if the goals devs create the game to, let's say, protect the game from the players, let's just call it that, where players can just go out and compete and play, we're going to be in a good place. So we'll see if it happens. I disagree, man. The way you can manually run into players, I was showing it with that Tom, kicking the ball into a player and just sprinting at him, full sprint, right? Sprinting at him, full sprint. You can cover some good ground, especially a player who knows what they're doing. Like if you pull your AI to pressure on one side and you just kind of circle them and overwhelm them, you can, after I played you, I actually showed what I was talking about. I took every player, and every time my opponent got the ball, I didn't stay in position. I just ran 100 miles an hour at them. And like if you're down 4-0, of course you're going to do that because you don't care if the player happens to beat you. Like my opponent beat me once, scored. Well, I was winning. I won 6-1. But 95% of the time, I was able to get the ball off their foot before they could do anything. I mean, he couldn't do shit. And that's how it felt. Like when I watched it back, bro, you were on every movement. Boom, boom, boom. And it's like, I feel like that's what overall we're getting into is that's like the culture of the game started becoming that. That troll mentality that use every single thing that's broken. That's my opinion. And I believe there's those players in there from the top all the way down that are in it for the right reasons because they truly love playing goals and they want to see the best game possible because they love competing. They're true competitors, right? And then I believe there's players that literally just, they love being trolls, or it don't matter how good or bad they are, they love being trolls. They love using broken mechanics. They loved rage baiting. Once that gets watered down, I think we're going to be in a way better spot. Again, that's my opinion of it. And that was that's kind of how I felt all through yesterday's games. Wasn't really about the football. Every game was about one up in the other guy on what you could do that's kind of fucked up in the game. Some people will put that on the devs. I don't, by the way. I put that on the players. I could play Corb 1,000 times. I could play Law 1,000 times. There's certain players. And even Ronald, bro. Ronald does the zigzag dribble constantly. But the way he plays, he clearly has a ton of skill. Like, you don't feel like he's trying to one-up you. Like, I am French. Pissed me off so bad that one game. He was using the shield dribbling. But then he's a dribbling beast. He was playing the game. He even put in the Discord, like, he wants that nerfed himself. Like, he's like, I'm going against my own gameplay. Right? Which is why I apologize, because when I first played against him, it's like, look at this mother... Obviously, at the time, thinking someone's like a bully is way different than afterwards and seeing everything. But I'm still saying, just from the... Let's take that out and look at the way the game is played. There's a difference there. Alright, so let's get into this. Let's see if this will be the game. Now, I had fun with this last time to the point where some players are like, you can't say that this version you'd rather play goals. Yes, I can. Now, I'm not going to sit here the whole time in every game just defend goals necessarily, but as you're playing, just pay attention to the nonsense. By the way, remember that a lot of what you see, shit, down 1-0 from a mistake, a lot of what you see is because of play styles, like players playing the right way or the wrong way because of play styles. Ah. Oh my god, I forgot about manual shooting. Or sorry, precision shooting. I was about to kick it to the corner flag. I actually want them to add that in goals, by the way, but holy fuck. Got to get used to that. Did you guys see where my shot was about to go? I smoked him. I'll smoke him again, though. Ah, forced it. I almost did the run into him thing, too. Ah. Holy Cruyff. Cruyff 87? When did they do that? When did Cruyff become an 87? Come on, you're in, Henry. Oh shit, I did an offside trap. I just realized there's no offsides traps in goals either. That would have been... I should have stopped it. Good. Good read. Claudia, the broken dribbler. Let's see what I can do with her. Oh, not shit. I'm in trouble when I can't even dribble with Claudia. There's a zigzag dribbling. Get in. I still like the movement and stuff better in eFootball, but overall with Smart Assist, bro, there's no way I can handle that. You play players that are making the wrong passes, that are getting corrected by... Like, yeah, if I was a top player in goals, or sorry, goals, in eFootball, and I could beat out the AI in a way, like, to where their decisions being fixed didn't affect me, yeah, I would probably play eFootball, but I can't do that. Alright, come on. Yes! Run right through the defender somehow. There we go, boys. Skull Reddit said, I'm having more fun than goals in 100% Skull. I agree with you, dude. Unfortunately, goals, they have to go work on the beta, so after this week, sometime, it might be today, it might be tomorrow, sometime this week, they have to go behind closed doors and do what they do. So that means now we're playing FIFA. Oh, you mother trucker. Oh, shit. Dude, that low driven is so broken. That low driven. This 87 Cruyff, we got to look at this son of a gun. When did Cruyff become an 87? Don't tell me they kept going with that. Oh, for those players who can't get, like, they made a worse version. two versions of a card is so dumb in my opinion. Even though clearly that 87 is a beast still. Oh, stupid. Holy. There's that Claudia. Everybody has Claudia, dude. Do you guys realize how... What the fuck was that? Do you guys realize how messed up that is? Every single player you play has Claudio Pena. Every single player. So you're not going to play a game without this card in your... Like, how does FC not realize that that's not a good sign? You have all these different players in your game, and this is why, what I'm showing here. Couldn't beat his whole team because he's parking the bus like a son of a bitch, but... I mean, we're in, like, Division 4 right now, so we're not playing anybody that's like, what the fuck? We're not playing anybody that's, like, got a great team or that's... If I'm matching a player now, it's not good for you. If you're showcased in my FC to where you're matching after I haven't played for months, it's not a good sign for the player. You know, so you got to keep that in mind when you're judging the game. What just happened there? Is there a whole different way to defend now, Skull, that I'm missing? Because I feel like that dude just went right through my whole defense. Although I have 83s and 84s, so I'm pretty fucked. Yeah, this player, like, would get smoked against anybody with a regular... All you gotta do is finish it with your little low driven, bro. Skull, what do you think out of this? UFL's not even in the question. It's either this, but I don't know what I'm gonna do about the team, bro. My team's so far behind. Look at my team that I'm playing with. You're gonna laugh your ass off. Look at the team that I'm playing with. Remember this guy? Remember the Agbedo? So I had an all-evolution team. And then I went out and bought Pena. I got this Henry somehow. These are gold cards still. But Bonmati and Puteas are always good in my opinion. Then I have a bunch more. Evolutions. Oh my god, yeah, it's still just... Alright, so let's try this 100. Let's try this pressure tactics in this game. So we'll go 95. Oh, I have it on balance too. We'll go counter 95. Let's see what changes in this half. And we'll just try to run at them like our chickens with our heads cut off. So goals goes away for a couple months. We'll see how many of these players come back. How many of the trolls end up trolling at some other game. In my opinion, now this is where I need you. I could totally be wrong about this because I've just never been that type of person. I'm not really a big Discord. I was at the beginning of UFL for feedback and stuff, but then I typically just make content and do my own shit. But when there's like 100,000, 200,000 players, does any 1, 2, whatever voices offsides? No way. Yep, I was gonna say dominate the Discord still. Does that still happen, or is it more watered down and spread out because there's so many comments? Holy, my shooting is way off. My precision shooting's so rusty, dude. I might need to go assisted. I'm not going to go assisted, by the way. I never would do that, but... Man, that's going to suck, though, bro. That's how you know goals is a good game, because I'm going to miss goals. For the right reasons, because I want to keep playing and covering the game and stuff like that. Imagine being a player out there that's like, man, I can't go in and troll people anymore. Man, I can't use this broken mechanic anymore. That, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. There's players out there that are so bad at other football games, they're toast. They were only able to play goals because of this broken thing or that broken thing. They would have no chance. They're going to have no chance in other football games. How do you not understand? Call your player 2 when you're good. Ah. This park the bus meta is going to be hard to beat, though, dude. Get out of here. There it is. Oh, that would have been sick. This game does feel better, dude. And my connection has definitely been better. I still take goals over this game any day of the week. Bad decision putting the ball in the air like that. Ah. By the way, as I'm using player lock, I actually wish they would remove player lock. Claudia's broken, dude. Oh, come on, Gwen, you little shit. 5'5", still won a corner or header. Couldn't get on goal though. Oh. Broken ass girl, dude. She's so good, it's not even funny. See, I have an 87, Claudia. There's an 88, and I think there's even more. There's no way my little 83. Who was that? I have 83 Agbado and 83 Van de Ven, 86 Agbado, maybe it is. I think I did. I can't remember if I finished the evolution for Agbado, I think its name is how you pronounce it. But I'm toast, bro. I don't know. I'd be toast for like the gauntlets. Although I did it last year and was able to come back and do fine, so we'll see. And this is only a low-level player, dude, because remember, I haven't played for months, so for him to be in this division and I'm getting smoked like this, it's going to be a long road. But I kind of like that. It gives something to, like, work towards, you know? Oh, what the fuck? That's what I want goalies to do in goals, by the way, is come out like that. Let's try to one manual defend him. The manual defending is working better for sure. Slide tackle there. Yeah, this is a lower level player, dude, and we're getting smoked. So that shows where we're going to be for a while. We're going to be getting stomped on. So the meta is park the bus. The meta is park the bus. I have my line at 100 right now. Wonder what I gotta look at. What the one meta tactic that's everywhere. I think it's a 4-5-1 if I'm not mistaken. That's the other thing that you get used to that you love about goals is that there was no one formation that everybody's playing. Pukey, you like it now? You never really liked FC, so if you're saying you like it, so you're liking how it is right now? Oh my god, the team of the years. I'm screwed, bro. I got 83s and 84s. Hey, maybe that's the content for you. Look. I'm going to make him look silly. Oh, damn it. I didn't get to do the skill move. I want to do that little spin shot that goofy skill move they have. Dude, I'm going to have to go against team of the years, though. That sucks. I could try to rebuild my team from scratch, which is basically what I'm kind of doing. Yeah. Puck, I know that you don't go for the meta bullshit. That's why I like Big Fads. Honestly, dude, that's the only content creator on FC that I really like. He plays the game so pure. He actually plays it like football. Doesn't care about play styles or none of that bullshit. Alright. So that's what we're working with. Did you ever get into eFootball or not? So this is Division 4. So I guess that's the lowest you drop. I haven't played this game for months and months. So here's what I'm working with. Going to my squad. Totally forgot about all these players. Let's see who we're working with. Anybody that I get's going to help me. I mean, I'm so far behind on my team. Anybody that I get. So these are premiums. The only thing I don't need is goalie because I have Khan. So it's all Serie A. Looks like this new skin's a beast, though. She could be a good CDM for me, for sure. We're only looking at non-premium players. I'm not putting a cent into this game. Damn it, I don't like any of these Italian league players. They had a Tamori from earlier in the year. Let's see. Bischoff. Damn, that could be a good CM. No way. No way. Rudy Voller. Dude, this card's going to be so sick. Hold on. How long till this season ends, though, bro? I forgot how you check that. It's been so fucking long. 15 days? I'm not going to make it. I want that Rudy Voller, though, for sure. Remember, look at the team I'm working with. You got to remember my team. Look at my squad. Look what I'm working with, bro. I'm not even going to go put a... Nah, I got to play it right. I got to go do this. I hate doing this stuff, dude. I wish they would get rid of this. That's the one thing I don't like. I know, I have a way... My team's way fucked, bro. Oh, hold on. Now I can go get a different player. So hold on, let's look at this. So I got to go to... Transfer Market, Consumables... Got to go get a Hunter. Are they still 5K? They still cleaned out? Let's see. Bro, I'm working. Alright, so. Damn, I'm going to miss goals. Did you ever give goals a try, Pucka? See what packs I have. Come on, give me something. Give me something. If you have a shittier team, word on the street is they'll give you some good stuff, but apparently not. Damn, I'm gonna miss being able to just go out and play football. I think you would love it, dude. 2 times 80 plus. Give me something out of this. Nothing. Good old promo packs. Provisions, packs for you. I got an Henri out of here before. Fat chance, alright. Yeah. Nobody plays, I hear you. They play eFootball where you're at mainly, right? FC Pro. Giroud. Yeah, man, I hate doing all this shit. You get spoiled, dude. Everything you do has a purpose, and even when you're upgrading your players and goals and stuff, it's just way better than all this busy shit. Oh, nice. I have to go up and look what I can sell him for. All right, Tosin. Let's read this. I probably just 10K for him. It's been a while since I had to go look at Footman. Probably just 10K, right? Let's read 10.8. We'll just quick sell him. Give me another 10. Give me another 10. Nope. I heard about that. You evoed the Silver Star guy, right? The Silver Star one or whatever the fuck it's called. See if I can make something okay out of this. All right, so I'm going to put a Hunter on him. Which, by the way, Henri feels like shit compared to Pena, for obvious reasons. Bjorn. I'm going to go with this Bjorn over. No, I can't, dude. Damn, man. Hansen. I'm going to save those coins for now. I don't know, there's this, or we go check out eFootball. I have a squad in eFootball. But I have Smart Assist off, but I don't know if I can beat the players using Smart Assist. Look, they constantly have these players. Edgar, I don't need any. Do the daily game. My squad's crushing. I have Romario and Ibra up top. Van Dyke, big time card. So check out my squad, bro. So here's my squad. I'm dealing with a way better squad. I'm so screwed in FC. Now I can restart. I've done it before. I've rebuilt without putting $1 in. I could do that. I still might. It's for 2 months until Goals beta comes out. Assuming I get to play the beta, I may or may not. That's my squad. So I'm in a way better. This is like a what, $1,300 team. My UFL squad's like 400, but UFL's so broken I'm not even touching UFL. Pointless to even look at. And look at the free players they try to give you as if they can touch. Like, if you spend money, you're never going to want these players. But then if you don't spend money, it's like a slap in your face, the players they give you. Let's go look at who it is. So there's a chance that you can get these players. Fat chance, by the way. And none of them would start for me anyways. You typically get like these guys. Like, dude, the way Konami has taken this game... But the football itself without Smart Assist, if they took away all the AI shit, in my opinion, it's sick. Let's go straight into the league, play a league game. Brand new phase. When did it start? Wait, when did it start? What did that say? Yeah, the goalies. I can't stand the goalies' reactions. I cannot stand them. It'll be interesting to see if these games get threatened by goals. People may or may not remember this, but UFL, when it came out, it was before the big patch for FC, okay? And UFL had a defensive system that was way more manual, and that's what people were loving, because at the time, FC was literally, you got rewarded for not controlling your defenders. For their big patch, FC literally copied UFL's defense. Swear to you. Copied it, and it was perfect. Everyone loved it. There's no more slowdown for the attackers because at the time, if you got on a breakaway, your attacker would slow down. The defender had a chance to catch up. They got rid of that. But then after that, UFL started copying FC in like every stupid way. Oh yeah, FC definitely improved from last year, and this patch definitely was a good patch for sure. But dude, the beta, nothing will beat the beta of FC. The best version of FC 26 was the beta. I don't know why they ventured away from it like they did, dude. The beta was so much fun. And by the way, if FC adds that stupid, I was part of that playtesting for the open world shit. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They better not add that open world stuff. They better not. Look at those kits, are hilarious. How could eFootball or how could Konami be so out of touch with like who decided it was a good idea to release those kits? Like the part of I hate how there's no manual runs. I hate how it's so AI controlled. Oh. Yeah, I heard they removed that. That's good. That stupid flick up to yourself and bicycle kick, rainbow to bicycle kick, and then go up by a goal and play to your goalie and just flick it up and then the goalie would pick it up, which by the way in real football is you can't do that. So it was so dumb in every different way. I turned off that smart assist shit, right? Goal. Oh, shoot it. It takes 7 hours to load up a shot in this game. What the hell? That was weird. He's got smart assist on. You can almost guarantee that when you play these players, they're going to have smart assist on. Still plays it out there. I think that's why Team Press and FC is broken so people can waste too much time. Come on. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Oh, come on, good. Nope, Smart Assist is on. I swear to God I turned it off. My opponent's using it, but I'm not going to play this game to use Smart Assist. I don't care. If I'm playing this, I can't go from goals to having AI doing shit. It's just pointless. Oh my God, I'll take that. Cheap goal, but if I get through. Penalty. Weak ass penalties in this game too, bro. I think it's a penalty. Oh, I love these free kicks though. Okay. I was a rat on FC with the dribbling. Yeah, you could do that in goals too, the little zigzag dribbles. I just hope I don't care if they keep it, but you got to equip the defenders better, in my opinion. Platini's free kicks are the best, but this close, I'm going to probably have to go under the wall. Let's see what this player's team looks like. I didn't even check. Usually you check all this. Free to play, typically. That Mbappe's sick on the wing. Yeah, see, I'm turning this off. Smart Assist is off. But watch how it changes, bro. That's the thing I hate. It affects your players and theirs so negatively. All right, ready? I'm going underneath. No, screw it. I'll go in the air. Too close. If it was further away, I'd have been better off. I needed to shoot it quicker if I was going underneath the wall, though. You can tell by my formation how I like to play if I can. Foul. What the? See what I'm saying with smart assist? Welcome to goal, or welcome to eFootball. So here, watch this. So this is what we do before we go back to FC. This is what these losers do over and over and over in eFootball. So watch this. So I give them the benefit of the doubt, which is the dumbest move. Now I'm not saying there's not players that can't beat that stuff, but that's the broken shit. So here, so watch. Smart assist on. Watch how I destroy this dude now. This is all you have to do in this game. This is what I mean by where it's broken. Once you start getting into this shit, we move Hullet here. Watch this. Who should I get in? Let's get Pele and Baggio in there. Watch this now. Watch how this game goes on its head. Good night to this piece of shit. So those, in case you guys don't know, those crosses with smart assist are completely broken. So now watch this. Watch what you can turn the game into. Because of players like this, this is what you're going to get. Play crazy. Couldn't be a better tagline. So now this loser is going to try to put his whole team back. It's not going to work. It hasn't showed up yet, but you'll see. I'm going to play constant through balls the whole time. I'm going to eventually get in and score. I think it's 1-1 now, right? Or no, did I score yet? I don't think I scored yet. 1-0. All right, here we go. So I'll even go attacking, one line attacking. Yep, that's what you're going to have to do all game, buddy. Perfect ball every time. See what I'm saying? It's so broken. It's just so stupid. But losers like this, like you see what I'm saying? You see the difference? This is what I was bringing up with Korb and Law and these guys in Coates. And I'm the one who broke that yesterday, right? Whether I was mad at him, you know, for coming back, like the way he came back or not. That's the mentality that spreads. And then once it's that broken mentality, right? That's that negative shit. And then every game becomes about that, right? Just about winning in any way. I'm going to one-up you with this. I think what you did there was broken, so I'm going to do a broken thing. And then you turn the game into this. I'm just going to destroy this player now. Why didn't you do that from the bat, OG? Because I'd rather play football where me and this player are competing. But this is what happens when you take a game and you add in this bullshit it becomes a broken mess. Right? Look at this. Look at this, bro. The goalkeeper's coach was just talking about this rebound stuff. He takes a shot. You're telling me that he took a shot like that and thought he was going to score? What the fuck was that? Look at the perfect balls every time. Just let the AI chase him down. It just turns the game into shit. And how Konami is watching their game go from this when they had PES back in the day is crazy to me. But these players, there's players like this, and I'm not going to say any names, but like those players in goals that just played to use something broken because they suck. There's a whole different mentality, and the players who know, they know, right? Even if I'm not explaining it in the most eloquent way, people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. There's a difference. Players know what they're using. Look at this. Perfect ball. And then rebound. Joke. Every ball is perfect with Smart Assist. So players turn it on, and yeah, congrats. If you're good enough to beat these players that are using it and you don't use it, good job. Many players, including myself, were not. So just because that's a bullshit, it shouldn't be like a prerequisite for this game. If you're a skilled player, you use that skill to play and win or lose, right? Prerequisite shouldn't, well, you got to get good enough to beat players who have AI helping them. No, bro, what? What kind of bullshit is that? Look, back post. Oh, that was supposed. Oh my God, he did that all on his own, guys. He did that all on his own. Romario did that all on his own. I tried to head that. He did that all on his own. The AI does everything. So this is why, even though I like a lot of things about eFootball, they just went crazy with the AI. There's no point. It's not even you anymore. It's not even you. The ball does nothing that you want it to do. Look, every pass holds up perfectly. Okay, I did that skill move out of bounds. Every pass holds up perfectly. Oh shit, you're in. Good. Good job, Khan. It's pretty much my only option because the AI would have made sure he scored. Oh, and I get a goal kick out of it. Hell yeah. Am I up 4-2 now? I forgot. Oh, you're in. See ya. Oh, come on. Good D. Takes you on power. Look at that perfect ball. And again. See ya. Game over. I'm not going to sit here. There might be players that go, this is awesome, guys. The AI's doing everything, dude. Or they'll try to act like they're doing more. Like, bro, look how good I am, man. I haven't played eFootball in forever, man. I just come in and light my opponents up, bro. Dude, it's all AI. Look at this ball. Terrible ball, but if it was perfect, that was the AI. The AI is doing everything. And then when you do something you should get credit for, it's almost like you go crazy. You're like, oh my God, I did that. I did that actually. That was all me actually. Like that was actually me. And then no one's going to believe you anyway. They're like, bro, bullshit. Hope it was worth it for your one crossing goal, dipshit. That's all you're gonna get. Yeah, I know, dude. PES, my last like amazing football game, and goals kind of reminds me of it in a good way. People try to say it to be derogatory, but PES 13 was like really good, bro. Before that, PES 6, but PES 13 was the shit. It was so much more realistic than any other game we had at the time. It was like true to football, dude. All the BS that was typically in games around the time it like got rid of, it did a good job. And then they went right back to copying. That's what I never understood. They go right back to copying FC every time. I don't know if the numbers just weren't good enough. I'm sure that was it. I'm sure it's always about money. But the football was great, and they kept going. We got to be more arcade. We got to get like. They kept trying to copy FC every time they had something amazing that like real football players. Do you guys remember the joke growing up? This is showing my age, but the joke growing up would be, bro, I think you need to go play FIFA, bro. You're playing the wrong game, right? You need to go. FIFA was always like for the kids, and Pez was for like the true football players. That was a running joke that wasn't a joke. I'm thinking FC over this, guys. I don't know what your guys are thinking, but I mean, I'm going to be way more toast. I spend more money in fucking eFootball. People say, oh, eFootball is free. Bullshit. If you want these players like I got, and this isn't even, there's been that powerful Messi came out. I think a Neymar came out. There's been some beast players that have come out. That Mbappe card's going to be sick, or is sick, I should say. Every time you get a new squad full of players, they upgrade them and then re-release the player you got eventually. Oh, good luck on your exam, bro. Good luck. I wish you the best. Ooh, we got tagged in goals. I wonder what this is going to be about. In-game chat, eh? I don't see it anywhere. Pez Mobile, nice. King X TV is a beast in Pez Mobile. Top 3,000 player. I love that. So King X has been stopping. That's cool. So which game are we gonna play? Which game? Pez or eFooty is for the invalids. You don't have. So what do you guys think, man? Which game are we going to be playing? What are you guys thinking? I'm thinking FC, but I'm not positive. I know. Well, that's what I'm hoping goals isn't, bro. Like I said, man, at the end of the day, I'll see which game. Maybe we just do a mix. But here's the bottom line, bro. Here's the bottom line. All these games have been through ups and downs, all their other shit. Right? At the end of the day, the only game so far that we've seen